everybody. Welcome to London, and welcome to this extraordinary group that you comprise. You are the Chevening scholars. And I want first of all to congratulate you on your achievement. You are the top, you're the Tower of Pisa, you're the Mona Lisa in the words of Cole Porter. You are the top 5%, the creme de la creme, because you are the 2,000 of the 45,000 who applied. You are the cornflakes that have rustled your way to the top of the packet. To change my metaphors, of all the kids that have ever dreamed of signing up for the NASA space program, you are the ones who've actually been chosen for the moonshot. And you've done overwhelmingly the right thing, I believe, in picking this country for your studies, because Britain today is the equivalent of Athens in the ancient world. It is the intellectual superhub of the globalized economy. 3 of the world's top 10 universities, 18 of the world's top 100. I'll tell you an even more astonishing fact. If you add together all the kings and queens and presidents and prime ministers, leaders of the world, 1 in 7 were educated in this country, and the world would be a lot better off, in my view, if that figure was even higher. Now, why? What is the formula? What have we got here in the United Kingdom? Well, many of you will be familiar with equations and economic equations of all kinds. So, first of all, you need talent, and we are open to talent here in the UK. We have huge numbers of people from all over the world. I think there are 300 languages spoken on the streets of London. I think I used to be mayor here, by the way, and I used to be the mayor of the 4th biggest French city in the world. 400,000 French people. We have more Chinese students studying in London than any other city on earth. Outside China, obviously, where they have a lot of Chinese students. And so we have talent. We have openness to talent. It is vital, by the way, I say this to everybody who may be thinking about how Britain is going to chart its course in the years ahead. It is vital that we remain open to talent, isn't it? Yes, and it's vital that we have international students coming, as they always have done, and adding massively. So we are open to talent, but we have something even more important. We have freedom in this country. Intellectual freedom, academic freedom, cultural, spiritual, religious freedom. Guaranteed by law, habeas corpus, independent judiciary, freedom of speech, all the things that made me, all the things that I believe in, and indeed the things that are values which are by no means uncontested in the early 20th century. Independent judiciary, democracy, freedom of speech, not locking up journalists. These things are actually in retreat now in some parts of the world. And I look to you, the great Chevening scholars, to stop that retreat, to promote those values of freedom and democracy, because they are vital. They are vital for the future of our planet. So we bring together talent and freedom. What else do we do? T plus F, talent plus freedom. You need something else. You need culture. You need the atmosphere, the vibe of London. We have better bars, better nightlife than virtually any other city in the world. We have, well, let me tell you, we have more Michelin-starred restaurants than Paris itself, although I think we used to until the French were so horrified that they went around issuing Michelin stars in a kind of North Korean way in order to get back up. We have more people, more visitors to some of our museums. I think there are more people who go to the British Museum every year than go to some European countries I could mention, though I won't, because I'm very diplomatic these days. You take those things, all the talented people that come to London, and you imagine that they're subatomic particles in some gigantic cyclotron that is the UK intellectual scene. And then you supercharge that cyclotron with freedom and with the cultural energy, the atmosphere, the vibe that I have described. And imagine what have you then produce the flash of inspiration that leads to innovation and economic progress. So let me give you an example. Can anybody think of the most important science discovery of the last century? What was the most important breakthrough in bioscience in the last century? Anybody know?
Penicillin. Antibiotics.
Penicillin was very important, but I think that it's more important even than penicillin. I would say, come on, the basic building blocks of life. Yes, DNA. Do I hear DNA? I do. Now, where was DNA? I tell you, who discovered DNA? It was a Brit called Francis Crick, and an American called James Watson. In fact, and where did these two subatomic particles collide? They collided, of course, in the United Kingdom, in Cambridge. But where precisely? Do you know where the flash of inspiration took place? Who said that? Where are you from, sir? China. Give the coconut to the gentleman from China. He knows the answer. He said it was the Eagles Bar. It wasn't the Eagles Bar. It was the Eagle Pub, my friends. You're right. It was the Eagle Pub in Cambridge, and that was why it happened. It took place in a pub, a quintessentially English institution, a quintessentially British institution, and that is why Oxford, Cambridge, London together, take them together, you're looking at the biggest bioscience constellation anywhere in this hemisphere, and I think it will overtake Boston pretty soon. And that's why, by the way, we have in this region that we're in, East London, this whole place now is fizzing and popping and jiving with all sorts of tech startups, fintech, biotech, edtech, medtech, green tech, nanotech. We have tech in London in a way that no other city in Europe does, and that is because, as I say, that mixture of things. So it's talent, T, plus F, freedom, plus C, culture, equals FIP, flash of inspiration, which equals innovation, which equals pounds. And that is why Oxford, my old university, Oxford, has just been named, I'm proud to say, as the world's #1 university. Cambridge alone has produced more Nobel winners than every university in Russia and China, I'm afraid to say, my friend, added together. Russia, or more than any university in Russia and China, added together and then multiplied by 2. And so that is the formula. T plus F plus C equals FIP equals pounds equals innovation that has made Britain the home of innovation for centuries. And let me just ask you in conclusion, where do you think the world's first TV set was turned on? Anybody know? London, thank you. It wasn't Blackpool. Where was it? Was it in a room above the Bar Italia in what is now Frith Street in Soho. Where was the world's first light bulb illuminated? Dundee. Where was penicillin? Somebody mentioned penicillin. Where was penicillin? Does anybody know where penicillin was made? Whereabouts?
Scotland.
Not Edinburgh, no, almost. It actually was London. It was in Praed Street in Paddington, a very useful thing to have, by the way. Penicillin after a night out in Praed Street, I'm given to understand. And where was the world's first machine gun? Hatton Garden. Where was the world's first catch machine? Enfield. What was the most important, never mind DNA, what was the most important bioscience discovery of the last 200? In fact, what was the most important scientific breakthrough of the last 200 years? The one that really made us think about man's place in the universe. What was the most important theory?
Evolution theory.
What?
Evolution!
The theory of evolution. Who said that? Well done. It's the theory of evolution. Of course it is. The theory of evolution. A theory, by the way, that is denied in some great democracies I could name. But never mind. We know it's right. We know it underpins all our scientific thinking. Where was Charles Darwin? Not Edinburgh. No, I'm afraid he was not in Edinburgh. Anybody know where Charles Darwin was when he postulated the theory of evolution? Where do you know where Charles Darwin was? He was in which city? He was in London. He was in London, my friends. And whereabouts in London was he? He was in Bromley. He was in Bromley in London. Has anybody been to Bromley? I hope you go to Bromley as soon as possible. When you go to Bromley and you behold the people of Bromley and you meet them and you will understand their natural, intellectual and physical advantages, and you will understand how Darwin came to advance his doctrine of natural selection and survival of the fittest later. And I hope you will go to Bromley, and I hope you will enjoy yourselves, dear Chevening scholars here in our country. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for choosing our country. And I hope you will remain friends with all the other Chevening scholars, but above all, I hope you will keep in touch with us as you go on, as I am sure you will, to achieve great things in the rest of your lives. Thank you very much.